Hey, hello there guys, Proxence here, and welcome back to another Yokai Watch 4 analysis video. And today we're doing this a little bit differently since this is a full 10-minute video that we are going to be analyzing, so I decided why not do this as a live stream, and on top of that, I added a face cam into here because I was discussing it with someone and they mentioned that, it would be nice to have the reactions for this because it's a very interesting video. I haven't actually looked at this yet, but I do have a general idea of what I'm going to analyze about it, mainly since it's basically quite similar to the screenshot that we analyzed a couple days ago. So, without further ado, welcome everybody to this live stream, and now, let us see what we have here. So let me make sure that we're good over there, and I will be interacting with chat at certain moments, probably not to the full extent like normal. Sorry. Okay, let's begin. All right, let me make sure that it's good before we start. So turn the audio down just a tad, 1080p, perfect, nice. All right, here we go. Level 5. Here is the Yokai Watch 4 loading screen. It says for TGS 2018, game start, level 5 Inc. You have the 3 different doors there of the 3 different worlds that are officially announced. There is the 4th world, which will be announced later on. I'm pretty sure it's already been announced to some extent, but I don't know the full details about that. That loading screen was cool. Light side Jabanian to shadow side Jabanian, that's cool. Light side Komasan and Jabanian on the roof. Main character here. Okay, before I mess this up, because I will mess stuff up just a little bit. When it comes to names, that's one of the more difficult things that I have in analyzing stuff. So this is Natsume, one of the main characters, and here she is in her home. She has received the phone call. Also, the game does look very nice. Given the fact that it is on the Switch, an HD console, it's definitely quite the upgrade relative to the older game. So here on the screen we have quite a few similarities to Yokai Watch 3. First place, we have the map on the bottom right. It's not exactly the same as in Yokai Watch 3, because in Yokai Watch 3 you had the bottom screen for the map, but in this case you do have an area for said map. You have your marker map on the top that shows you where you're supposed to be going, so you know, hey, this is the direction I'm heading, and that's where my next objective is. You also have your marker indication, so you know, hey, this is what's up. This is what you're doing now. And whoa, pause. Slide back, whoa, dang, this game looks good. That's not analysis, that's just pure fact right there. Woo! Woo, look at that mountain. Look at that house. Look at that bicycle. Look at that car. That's more of a reaction than an analysis, but look, it's beautiful. Back to the analysis. Alright, so there's Whisper in his Yokai Watch 4 form. We have Jabanian over there, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm not 100% sure about this, but it is quite similar to the map in the original Yokai Watch games. Also, over here we have the other character. I believe this is Toma. Before I mess it up, yes, this is Toma. Okay, and ooh, inspiriting's going on. So, as you can tell, definitely improved graphics. Similar to the previous games, they'd go into situations with other people and encounter stuff. Big difference here relative to the previous games is the fact that your Yokai Watch now analyzes stuff in the digital world, because it's Digimon now. That is sarcasm, but it looks like Digimon. Let me recap that. You click it and you go into the digital world, and you find a clue on the wall that looks like a portal. Intriguing. Again, that was sarcasm. Don't be mad at me. Alright, so, as you can see here, It does definitely take a big step away from the Yokai Watch 3 games in this style of doing stuff, because in the Yokai Watch 3 games, you'd have a quest, and it was different for most quests, but you'd be given a quest, you'd have something in that area, then you have to run all the way to another area and find something else out over there, then you go over here, find something else out, then you go over here and you fight a boss. In this case, you have something going on, and your direct clue is an HD vein of darkness on the wall, which I'd say is kind of cool, and then a yokai pops out of there. Rather, the light side form of a yokai, because this right here is the light side form of a yokai, and also relative to the previous games, this warping into battle thing is definitely cooler. Because you had the upgrade in between each of the games, where in Yokai Watch 1 you had a certain type of upgrade of the little swirly screen, in Yokai Watch 2 you had an upgrade of the swirly screen, and in Yokai Watch 3 you have another update of the swirly thing, the battle entry thing. And now you have another one, which is cool. And I'm assuming, similar to the previous games, it'll be a thing where it's like... Ooh, I just noticed something there. Pause for a second. Similar to the previous games, I'm assuming it's going to be a thing that adjusts based on what type of battle you're going into. Right, so here's something that just changed. Big change right here. So as you saw, when there's an entry into battle, you have your yokai entering first, and then you enter, which indicates a couple new things, right? Couple new things. First off, your yokai are still fighting. Yeah. Second off, you're fighting too. That's the big new thing. And also, you're fighting in an open space. So, fighting in this open space is a style that is similar to Ni no Kuni 2, or also a style similar to Yokai Watch Blasters or Busters, the first one. And in this case, what appears to be happening is the game is taking the style originally available in Yokai Watch 1, 2, and 3 of battling, where you have your entry of yokai and you face the opponents, and combining it with this other style from Ni no Kuni 2 and Busters to incorporate it into this new battle style. That's pretty cool. And also, another new thing in this battle here is the whole Y-point system, YP, as it's shown there. Similar to health points, you have a limited number of this, and your abilities are sort of dependent on it. As you can tell, though, it does have the ability to regenerate, so that makes stuff good, since you won't run out of it in battle and then be unable to do your proper attacks. And as you can see, the character themselves has the ability to use certain types of abilities. In this case, an arm. So, a little bit of a reaction, huh? Back to the analysis. This arm appears to be a special ability that I'm guessing is only available in certain situations, most likely some situations similar to a Soultimate, but lower than a Soultimate, since it's a human character, not a yokai, and as you can see, they were quite powerful, quite powerful. That Soultimate, air quotes there, that was used there. And then this yokai is now on the floor and ran away. Huh? Something happened there. So, as you can tell, it is quite similar in the quest system to the previous games, because you're given something happens, you go off to another area, you do something over there, and then it progresses with that. Obviously, oh, dude, the dude just jumped! Whoa, that's a big difference! This man just jumped! Whoosh! Yeah. Wait, hold up, you can jump. That's kind of good. You can jump. That's, whoo! He goes whoosh, just whoosh. Sorry, I'm analyzing the jump here. You can see that he's jumping at approximately a 45-degree angle away from the base of this Earth, beneath him, and with this 45-degree angle, he is able to clear a roughly 1 meter sized defense pole, preventing vehicles from entering the park. And that is your analysis of this jump. That was a big jump, though. Like, this dude just jumped really high. Anyways, we have some yokai around here, and as you can actually tell, you're able to interact with your yokai in a wide array of places. So that's pretty interesting. I'm wondering how it'll be set up if you're in a certain area, then travel to a new one, and then you see your yokai again, because somehow, some way they are teleporting from place to place, and just so happening to be right where you want them to be. In this case, as you can see, Jabanian has arrived over here and is staking out the opponent. And now the main character, in this case Toma, who is playing, is going over to this yokai. And before this happens, I need to recap on what this yokai's name is. I was aware of it a little bit ago, but it's okay. Okay, so this yokai's name is something that is really easy to forget, apparently. Well, that's fine. Nonetheless, continuing with this thing here, you can see that the yokai is transforming into its shadow side form. And that's some pretty HD yokai right there. It's Inside Out Boy. As a nickname, that could be something for this yokai. So, as you can see, similar to the previous entry in battle, your yokai go right in that whole triple style there, and your Y points are actually being used when you're targeting the opponent and just firing your basic attacks. Also, you saw there, let me pause for a second, and as you can see here, there's some sort of stream of light being used to take Y points away from the opponent and recharge your own Y points. So that's pretty interesting. As a method, I'm guessing that this likely works out where your character makes it so the opponent is less likely to use some of the more powerful attacks by taking away the Y points, or it might just be doing some minimal damage to increase your character's Y points. In this case, we've got the opponent character has actually taken down Michi, this yokai right here. I believe this is the light side form of Slimeamander in this game. And I apologize for that. Okay, let's see. And the moment that Michi gets up, this is something that I'd like to mention, because the person who's been assisting me with some of these analyses is... there's a Michi dab. Yeah, that's what you get. Okay, so as you can see here, our character is actually healing up the opposing character, not the opposing characters, the yokai that are actually on the team. So I'm guessing that the role of healing more so will fall to your character rather than a certain yokai on the team. Obviously, there's still going to be yokai that heal, I hope, but since your character can heal up your yokai, it helps out quite a bit. And as you can see, the battles are quite interactive, because by facing this opponent, you are knocking out their organs, which is a very weird thing to say, but yeah, you're knocking them out, and they are adjusting the battlefield by performing different actions. For example, I believe that was his kidney that has just gone boom. Yeah, slightly terrifying, but as you can tell, there are things adjusted in the battle as you go through said battle, and your opponent is using a wide array of different moves that make the battle interesting and not all the same. And in this case, as you can see, the opponent appears to be charging up a more powerful attack, which in this case is causing some sort of just stream of rocks lifting up. And it appears that this has charged up his heart, likely with the ability to do his Soultimate now. And in this case, our character is actually pulling his heart away, which is fascinating. I'm guessing that is his source of life, and by taking it away, you have a good chance of doing extra damage. I don't know if this will be the case in most battles where you have an extra chance of doing more damage, but in this case, that is what happened. And pause. Huh? This dude just summoned a yokai? He turned into a yokai? What? What? So this is the part where the face cam comes in handy, because I'm just like, what? Eh? Eh? Okay. Well, as you can see, there's only a little bit I can analyze here. He turned into a Kala. And now he's fighting as a Kala. I'll take a guess that this is some form of special ability, more so likened to a Sultimate for the main character, and also seems somewhat overpowered as an attack. Because you're essentially acting as a 4th yokai on the team, and that turns it into a 4v1 relative to a 3v1 done in the previous games. Yeah, I know that's Fudomuyo, but also someone said Akala, so I listened to the chat. I think, oh yeah, we did, this was a situation in Busters too. Anyways, as you could tell, certainly an interesting situation there. And now that the boss fight has been finished, the boss is sticking around and there is some dialogue being done to end this fight, which is acting as a conclusion to this story of the demo. And similar to Yokai Watch 3, 2, and 1. There is this whole style of a story in every chapter where, you know, this obviously makes sense. You start off the chapter with your introduction, you get to a point which is the climax, which is the boss battle, and then you transition out with the end of that boss fight there. So here we see Natsume and Toma. Natsume is looking at her yokai watch, and there appears to be some notification occurring, and now a door has appeared behind. The analysis here is that another dimension has appeared within this dimension. The door opens up, and another world is seen, and this world is the world of Nate. And Nate appears from the door with Jibanyan and Whisper in their normal form, not in their future shadow side form. They look at each other, and it's like, whoa, you look familiar. I don't know if that's actually what she said, but the analysis there is that they kind of recognize each other to some extent, and we have multiple forms of Jibanyan here on the screen. Broody, Jibanyan, 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 and Jibanyan. Oh my, wait, whoa. Headphones off for that one. Here's like intense analysis time, because this is something actually big. There's obviously more stuff in a second here, but this is big. We've got Rudy, we've got Jibanyan, we've got light side Jibanyan, we've got shadow side Jibanyan, we've got little fluffy floating Jibanyan. And then we have a Jibanyan here in the corner. That's actually important. That's actually really important. So that Jibanyan in the corner is a Jibanyan that was shown in the Dark Yokai Watch. I don't remember the exact name of this, but I believe if I check here, it is the Black Yokai Watch. Okay. Huh. Wow. It's the Kuroi world. It's evil Jibanyan. Okay, so analysis here is, I'm guessing that's the last world. You've got, okay, so there's the worlds here, right? You've got world 1, which is Nate's world. So that's world 1. World 2 is Natsume and Toma's world, which has the shadow side and light side. World 3 is now the Kuroi world, which is the evil world. World 4 is the one with the movie character. I'm not sure what to define that as, but is the movie world. So those are the 4 worlds available. That's kind of cool. And now we have another instance of something going on here. Pause. Ah, come back. There it is. Look at all the yokai here. It's basically all the stuff on the previous screen. And then the movie yokai. Alright, another door opens up. And in this case, it is indicating something new, but through the same instance. This door opens up, shows us the same scene, but guess what? Jibanyan steps out again, but guess what? It's now a different character, indicating that Katie makes her return in the game, and indicates that you are able to play as either Nate or Katie in the game. I don't know why I did the voice like that, but it is pretty cool. So that's essentially most of the reaction / analysis. This ended up being a little tad bit more of a reaction, so let me adjust the title a little bit so I don't mislead people. There we go. So, there we go. Don't want to be misleading. Alright, so summarizing through what we've been shown. At the start of this, we were obviously shown the 3 realms that we are currently aware of. The movie world, Natsume's world, Nate's world, and the 4th realm, which is the evil world. And then throughout this process, we saw how beautiful of a game it is, managing to take the Switch to its full potential. Similar to how Yokai Watch 3 was able to push the 3DS to basically its full potential. I'm guessing this game is taking that to the level of the Switch. Obviously, the Switch has a lot of room for growth in terms of, you know, more crazy graphical quality stuff. Because if it can be done with the 3DS, it can be done with the Switch as well. But in this case, this game is beautiful, fantastic. The art style is clean. It's very anime-esque, and I guess that's, well, not I guess, that's probably what they were going for, since the entire game looks like a cutscene, despite the fact that only cutscenes that happen are in some instances. So, yes, quite nice. Quite nice. Yeah, it's a beautiful game. It's a beautiful game. The boss fights are definitely a lot different from the previous games, where in the previous games you went in, you had the 3v boss style. In this case, you have the 4v boss style in a more open field with varying abilities and varying stuff. And yeah. Now, if anybody in the chat has a certain question about this, I'll try my best to answer it, as this is an analysis. And it is one where I am interested in answering questions, because, you know, there's a lot of stuff in here. Can't take it all in at once. And let's see. Again, I do apologize for being less interactive with the chat during the stream. It was more of an analysis, so do apologize. There will be some stuff tomorrow. Don't worry. Don't worry. And you need a demo for this. I'm going to take a guess on the demo and say, since the game has been delayed to spring, I'm thinking, right? I believe the game has been delayed to spring, yes. Spring 2019 launch in Japan, thus indicating that they needed more time to work on it, and I'm perfectly fine with this. Obviously, sometimes it is disappointing to have a delay in the launch of a game that you're super excited for, but as long as this leads to the game being adjusted and made more suitable, and just made better in general, then perfectly fine. No need to be mad about it or anything. But again, back to what I was saying, I believe this demo will probably come out in December, November-ish. Late November, early December is my guess. Unless there's been a specific indication of it, that's just what I'm going to guess, because that seems like a good time. Alex, I checked and I replied to your tweet. Pretty sure. Okay. Yeah, given that the game has been delayed from December on to spring, December is a likely time for the demo, and yeah, 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 that's pretty cool. So, overall, the game looks great, lots of fun stuff. Analyze the bulk of it. There's a lot of differences here relative to the older game, and there's another thing that I am going to do a video on soon enough, and that is the trailer that was released today. It encompasses a good chunk of stuff that was actually shown in this gameplay video here, but I'll go through that separately and analyze that. So I think for now it would be a good time for me to end off this live stream. So I'd like to thank everybody who tuned in. Again, do apologize that this was a little bit different from regular live streams where there was less chat interaction. We will be back again with normal live streams tomorrow and have some fun with that. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. By the way, if you haven't already, join the Discord. It's a pretty cool place. Bye, everybody.